As I sit here, the flickering glow of the Christmas tree lights casts eerie shadows across the room, and my mind is haunted by the chilling events that transpired last December. I never thought the holiday season could turn into a nightmare, but what unfolded in our quaint town was a true horror story, one that still sends shivers down my spine. It all began innocently enough. My family and I had recently moved to the small town of Evergreen, seeking refuge from the hustle and bustle of city life. We were enchanted by the picturesque landscape and the promise of a close-knit community. Little did we know the darkness that lurked beneath the facade of holiday cheer. The first signs of something amiss appeared on the day we decorated our house for Christmas. The air was thick with the scent of pine as we adorned our tree with ornaments, but an ominous feeling lingered. As I hung a delicate silver bauble, I couldn't shake the sensation that unseen eyes were watching, scrutinizing our every move. In the following days, strange occurrences became a daily ordeal. The carolers who roamed the neighborhood at night sang haunting melodies that sent chills down our spines, their faces hidden beneath hoods, their voices harmonizing in an eerie, dissonant symphony. And then there were the whispers, the hushed conversations that seemed to echo through the snow-laden streets, yet no source could be identified. The turning point came on Christmas Eve. As we gathered around the fireplace, the warmth of the flames couldn't dispel the cold that seeped into our bones. The clock struck midnight, and an otherworldly hush fell over Evergreen. It was as if the town itself held its breath, anticipating the impending horror. A sudden knock at the door shattered the silence. Reluctantly, I approached, my heart pounding in my chest. As the door creaked open, a gust of icy wind swept through the entryway. No one stood on the doorstep, but a single tattered envelope lay on the ground. I hesitated for a moment before retrieving it. The letter inside was written in a script that seemed to dance across the paper. Its words were a cryptic invitation to witness the true spirit of Christmas in Evergreen. Intrigued and unnerved, I shared the message with my family, and against our better judgment, we decided to follow the instructions that led us to the outskirts of town. The path was obscured by a thick blanket of snow, and the skeletal trees whispered secrets in the frigid air. Eventually, we stumbled upon a clearing where an ancient oak tree stood, adorned with ornaments of a peculiar nature. Instead of cheerful baubles and twinkling lights, the branches held decrepit dolls, their vacant eyes staring into the abyss. As we approached, a spectral figure emerged from the shadows. Cloaked in tattered rags and crowned with a wreath of thorns, the figure spoke in a voice that resonated through the very marrow of our bones. It was the spirit of Evergreen, and it had a tale to tell. Long ago, the town had been plagued by darkness, and the residents made a pact with an otherworldly entity to ensure prosperity. In exchange, they were bound to celebrate a twisted version of Christmas each year, a nightmarish ritual that had become ingrained in the town's fabric. As the story unfolded, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. The spirit beckoned us to participate in the ghastly ceremony, to become part of the town's unholy tradition. The dolls on the tree, it explained, were once living souls trapped in a purgatorial state between life and death. Terrified and entranced, we found ourselves compelled to join the macabre dance that ensued. The air was thick with the scent of decay as the dolls swayed on their branches, and the spirit's haunting laughter echoed through the desolate clearing. We were trapped in a grotesque tableau, unable to break free from the unholy communion. When the first rays of dawn finally pierced the darkness, the spirit vanished, leaving us alone in the frigid cold. As we stumbled back towards town, the weight of the horror we had witnessed bore down on us. The once charming streets now felt tainted, and the festive decoration seemed like a facade concealing the town's sinister secret. In the aftermath, we tried to convince ourselves it was a hallucination, a shared nightmare, born from the stress of the season. But the dolls remained on the oak tree, a grim reminder of the unholy pact that bound Evergreen. Each Christmas since, we live in fear of the haunting carolers, the ominous whispers, and the invitation to join the nightmarish celebration. As I sit here, staring at the flickering Christmas tree lights, I can't help but wonder if the spirit of Evergreen still watches, waiting for the next unsuspecting family to be drawn into its malevolent embrace. The true spirit of Christmas in Evergreen is a horror that lingers, a story I can never forget.